Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know, long time no see. Some of the videos that you've seen on my channel recently were pre-recorded like a month and some change ago maybe. The reason I've kind of been MIA was because I actually injured myself, and so I was kind of like on standby for a while. I felt like I didn't have the capacity to do what I need to do other than focus on school, finishing up school and working. So now that I'm kind of back on track, everything is good. But anyway, I wanted to come up here today simply to talk about a new segment I think I'm going to incorporate on my channel. And this is going to be called ARI Chats. That's ARI Chats. Let me start off by saying I am not trying to judge anybody any ways necessary. I'm just expressing and speaking on what I've seen. That's been going on for a while. I've just kind of been quiet about it. But yeah, just want to let y'all know I ain't judging y'all. Do what makes you happy. Today, I wanted to talk about young women, particularly ages 11 to 20. I feel like a lot of young girls do not know their value. This particular topic came about, I was talking with some of my coworkers about some of the stuff I've seen on social media, and it just really disheartens me to see that some of these females out here they just don't know. They don't have a clue of how they should act and how they should be treated. And it's very disheartening. It's sad because middle school girls are on Instagram posting half naked pictures. Y'all out there making twerk videos, and y'all just want to be in a relationship so bad. And I can't understand why. I mean, for me personally, when I was in middle school, that was, the least of my concerns. Of course I had feelings. Of course I wanted boys to like me. I wasn't particularly anyone's top choice. And I didn't try, harder than, I didn't try to be noticed. I mean, at that point, I kind of accepted it. It hurt. I went home. I shed a few tears. But from that point on, I did not try to get anybody, involved in my life that didn't want to be there. I have a problem with girls in middle school, elementary school, high school with weave. Now, I already know I'm gonna get a little bit of backlash on that. But to be honest, you don't need all that. You're going to school and it's really a distraction. You're putting yourself out there to be noticed, and it's a distraction. How are you focused on school if you got your weave in, you're trying to be somebody? First of all, you're making yourself look way grown than you already are. And really, that's not even to blame y'all. I love the parents out there, but y'all got to put boundaries and standards on that. Like, for example, when we go back to my time, and I'm not that old, I'm only 23. So when I was in elementary school, the first time I got weave, I had cornrow braids, like the straight backs. Yeah, that's all I could get involving weave. Then it wasn't until middle school that I could get like all the cute little twists. I started getting like the God, what's those things called? They weren't Marley twists, but they were kind of like Senegalese twists with the curly ends. I didn't get those till like toward the end of middle school. Even if it was in middle school, it was only during the summer, during that summer transition. And then I didn't get to wear like weave. Like, I didn't have my first sewing until I graduated from college, and I had to pay for it. That's what you need to know first and foremost. If you let the child or you let your young daughter wear weave at an early age, she's going to feel grown. Because that's what grown men are attracted to. They're attracted to women with their hair done and it's long and nice and neat, And so if they don't have like a child hairstyle, they look grown. You're making them look grown. So I don't agree with that. And I feel like it's really throwing the balance of how a female should act off. As an 11-year-old up until like, I would even say 19, you don't need to feel grown. You don't need to feel like a woman. You need to feel like a child, and you need to stay in a child's place. Simple as that. Because you're developing a sense of, oh, I need this to build your self-esteem. If you're not comfortable with the way you look, without the fake hair, without the fake nails, chances are you have a low self-esteem, and you're going to continue to do those things so you can get noticed. And really and truthfully, you shouldn't be that noticeable in middle school and or high school. So I just don't agree with that. I feel like maybe age 18, 19 is an appropriate thing. But like some of the stuff I've seen, like I did not go to the 8th grade dance at my school with a head full of weave, like 26 inches long. My parents just were not here for that. I didn't even get to wear makeup to my 8th grade dance. All I had on was lip gloss and maybe some mascara. It makes young females at that age feel like they have to do all this stuff to feel pretty, and you don't. I don't agree with, you know, the fact that, you know, young females in the 8th grade look like they're going to high school prom, and then all the high school prom girls look like they're getting married. Like, I just feel like it's way too much. Now you can't even differentiate the ages between females now, young girls. Because 11-year-olds look like high schoolers and high schoolers look like college females, and it's just not okay. Nowadays, the only reason why a lot of females are popular is because they get on Instagram and flex. You know, they flex their new weave, they flex their new full set, they flex their new clothes, they flex their body. I'm just like, okay, there's something wrong with that as well. Because now they're trying to gain self-esteem, their self-esteem from social media, from the way people respond and react to it. And the thing is, social media is not something to be all willy-nilly and loose with, because there are grown-tail men looking at these girls because they put it out there. With social media, you can access everything. I don't care if your child's page is private. Somebody up there accessing it or looking at their pictures, and, you know, in their mind, they're like, that's a grown woman. You shouldn't feel comfortable or be able to sleep at night with a man grown as I don't know what, looking at your child like they grown and they not. Like, that's just not okay. With the whole social media piece, I didn't have a Facebook page until until like 10th grade high school. I had a little MySpace account, but I really didn't do anything with that. I didn't get an Instagram till my 5th year in high school. Now let me explain. I went to early college, so we did 5 years of high school and college classes. I didn't get a Twitter until like maybe like my senior year in high school. I think that's all I had: a Facebook, a Twitter, and Instagram. Well, I always had people that would hold me accountable. If they saw something crazy, they was gonna tell my parents. Not to mention that there was just a whole bunch of stuff like I was not going to do. Point blank period. I remember when Instagram first came out. Instagram is 10 times more provocative than it was when I first had it. When I got up there, people just posting like random crazy stuff. Not like crazy stuff, but like post pictures of flowers and dogs. Now Instagram is like, you can post something up there, make money, promote, and all that. And all that is wonderful, and it has its place. It's not a place where your child's behind should be seen, posing, and all this other stuff. We're in a different generation. But some of these kids have grown up so fast. It's because parents have allowed them to experience things too quickly. We're already exposed to enough. From the time your child starts school to the time they finish, they're exposed to a lot of things. And what's okay in another child's house may not be okay in yours, but I feel like parents have succumbed to the pressure of wanting their child to fit in. I'm really interested to know what happened to those parents. I was like, oh, well, if Susie jump off a bridge, you're gonna jump off a bridge too. If Susie get 30-inch weave, you're gonna get that. Like, what happened to those parents that set standards, you know, like, no, you don't need that right now. It's crazy to the point where young females look so grown that they get exposed to sex a lot quicker. If you look at their shape, and then they're putting their shape and pictures and stuff like that on social media, and then grown men see it, and then high school boys see it, or whoever, the first thing they're gonna do is slide in their DMs and be like, you know, Ma, what's good? I want to hit that. Like, exposed to sex. Don't even know what it is. Might know what it is. But the point is, if parents don't have those parental boundaries, or even have those standards, some stuff is just not okay for that age. It's not age appropriate. I'm pretty much grown now, but if I were to walk out the house in a mini skirt, Mom be like, you know, where you going? You know, what's going on? It's just little things back in there, like back in the day, that I didn't understand that my parents did. My parents took my cell phone at night. I couldn't be on the phone past a certain time. I couldn't wear certain stuff. Like, my parents wouldn't let me wear makeup to school until my 12th grade year, and then I could only wear eyeshadow and lip gloss. I didn't wear a full face of foundation until my first year in college. But back then I didn't understand what's the big deal. My dad, he kills me. He's like, you go to school to learn, not to look cute. That's the God honest truth. He won't lie. I don't understand why you need 26-inch weave, fake nails, and a full face of makeup and heels. You know, I used to wear heels, you know, on special occasions, but why you need all that to go and learn? Obviously you're not there to learn. Obviously it's a social scene to you. Obviously you don't care about your education that much. It frustrates me to see young middle school girls on social media flexing to get attention. Like, do you know that you are valuable? First and foremost, you're God's creation. When God made the earth and everything in it, he said good. But when he made us, females, males, humans. He said, very good. We all come into this world with our natural look. Whether someone agrees with it or not, we still have to believe that we're beautiful. We're here for, we came here with a purpose. Whether or not you think I'm cute in the 5th grade, don't matter. Because by the time I graduate, the glow up is going to be real. Like, you have to put that trust and faith in yourself. I did not have that. I didn't really feel like I was pretty until like towards the end of high school. And it really didn't have to do nothing with boys because they would come and go. I guess it was because I wasn't anybody's top choice. When guys saw me, they weren't like, oh my gosh, she's so cute. Oh my God, I want to get to know her. I had to move on from that. Like, I had to focus on me and, you know, and realize there was nothing wrong with me. Not to mention, the only reason why most of the guys that I talked to me was because they were trying to have sex, and I won't about that. So you have to just know your value. Relationships in high school, they're cool, but you should not be getting in a relationship just because you don't feel like you don't have any self-validation. If I could go back and not date in high school, I would, because it didn't do nothing for me but distract me. Looking back, that probably wasn't the best idea. High school is a very critical time in your life because you're getting ready to branch off into college. It's a distraction. Most guys nowadays, because this world is just so crazy and people are exposed to stuff, all they're thinking about is sex. That's the God honest truth. They ain't worried about nothing else. Of course, they do this cute little Snapchat videos with you, but at the end of the day, if you ain't giving it up, they're not here for it. They're just not gonna take you seriously. And you know what? I came on this video not to blame the guys for anything, because it's our fault. If we allow certain things, they're gonna go right along with it. If you allow a guy to call you out your name, when he say it, don't look confused. If you allow a guy to hit you, don't look confused when he hits you. You have to set the standards at the door. When I was dating, I had standards. I was like, you got to be saved. You got to go to church. What you want to do with your future. You know, I ask those kind of questions. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna get with him because he cute and he on the football team. No, stop right there. Because he can't do nothing for me on the football team. He can't do nothing for me right now. But it's okay to want to have that companionship, but you have to think about the long-term benefits. Because right now y'all looking at the short-term benefits. You got somebody cute you can post a little video with. You got somebody who might send you a cute message every now and then. At the end of the day, is it really worth the stress? Especially if you're not gonna be faithful. Most guys in high school are not faithful. There's a bunch of y'all, and all y'all wearing weave, and all y'all got full sets. There's always gonna be somebody prettier. And so most guys are not in a committed mindset. It's a waste of your time. It's okay to date. If you just, I feel like if you had a sense of who you were, you know what you were, and were not gonna tolerate, then I would, by all means necessary, date away. I just had a lot of boundaries, and I wasn't a sheltered kid, and I turned out fine. The rules and boundaries that my parents set for me taught me to have self-respect. You just not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You're not gonna cheat on me. You just not, because I don't have time for that. Whether I have on, like, and I'll wear weave, and I have no problem taking it off and rocking my natural hair. If you go to my Instagram, that's what you'll see. And to be honest, I don't even wear makeup every day, y'all. I only do this when I make videos, because I go to work and everything, no makeup. If somebody feeling it, that's nice. If you ain't feeling it, oh well. This is the face that God has given me, and he said very good. So I'm not gonna allow someone to tell me that they don't like it because it doesn't fit the box that they want it to. I really wish girls would get a grip. You don't have to be at the 5 for 25 sale at Victoria's Secret just to post it on Instagram. I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure. You want to feel validated. You want somebody to call you sexy. And really, in high school, middle school, y'all don't need to be called sexy. You need to be called beautiful. You need to be called smart and intelligent. You need to be called brilliant. If he not gonna call you that, then it's really not a compliment. Especially if, that's one thing I would say, guys are smart. Most of the time, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear, which is you want to be called sexy. You want to be called all these other things and bae. But really, that's not enough. That is not enough. I just don't know how to put it to y'all. It really just bothers me to know that y'all feel like y'all have to be validated on social media. It bothers me that middle schoolers are in a depression because they're not in a relationship and they can't post cute little videos on Instagram or Snapchat. It befuddles me. You know, I just don't understand. I'm like, what has happened to the point where we have lost our minds? We have lost all self-control. We have lost self-respect. You know, at this point, I'm not even worried about those who are 20 and above. Y'all pretty much decided y'all grown. I'm not worried about y'all. At the end of the day, folk gonna do what they want to do and nobody can stop them. If you got a 9 to 5 and if you feel like you need to twerk and if you taking care of your business, you got a 9 to 5, you know, your record clean, you feel like you got to twerk and show your body, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But for my young girls, y'all, it's too soon. It is way too soon. Y'all think y'all grown at 18. You're really not grown until you move out the house. I consider myself grown, but I ain't gone nowhere. So I'm really not even grown. I'm grown enough to make my own decisions, but not grown to the point where I can just haul off and do whatever I want, whenever I want. Because number one, I have standards. Number two, I respect the rules of my parents that they set because they're doing me a favor. And number three, I just have self-respect. And I like cute clothes. I like short clothes. Sometimes I can't wear a whole lot of short clothes because I got long legs. It's okay. Fashion is fashion. You probably won't see me wearing it like to school or to like work or any like locally. When I go on vacation, if I want to dress, you know, dress however, I'm gonna do that because I'm on vacation. But for the simple fact to get attention and, you know, no. I value the young girls because y'all, there's certain stuff you don't need to be exposed to at that age. You already have you already have a wrong concept of how you're supposed to be perceived by people. You already feel like you have to go into this flex mode and get on social media and just post all these crazy pictures and videos, cursing up a storm. No. And I'm not perfect by any means, but I just knew not to take it that far. Like I just had enough self-respect to realize that I'm not getting anything out of posting any provocative pictures. I'm not getting anything out of cursing like a sailor on Instagram. I'm not getting anything out of a guy commenting on my picture. He only want one thing. Bottom line, you go to school to learn. I just feel like some of y'all are so concerned with how you look, who's your friend, who's interested in you, who likes you, over your own grades. I mean, if you passing and got weave, go right ahead. My middle school girls, y'all don't need that to be pretty. You really need to throw yourself into school, pick up an extracurricular activity, enjoy it to the fullest. Hang out with your friends. Don't worry about guys. They will come. They multiply by the dozen. They are coming and they're going to be there when you turn 20. They're going to be there when you turn 15. They're going to be there when you turn 30. Focus on you and enjoy life, because if you live your life centered around, I got to look this way so I can get this attention. I got to post this so I look this way. You're not going to be fulfilled at all. That self-esteem comes from within, and it comes from God. Like if you don't know who your creator is, you're not going to know who you are, because your identity is found in Christ. And if you don't know that, if you don't know him, you're not going to know who you are. So you're going to be open to what everybody else has to say, and you're going to believe it. Even if you have a low self-esteem, whatever anybody tells you, that's what you're going to believe, because you don't have a revelation or your own set of standards about yourself. For the longest up until now, people are like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God. And I'll just be like, thank you, because I've never really felt pretty, you know, even with the makeup, without the makeup, I just never felt like top choice material. And that's because I allowed myself to go into a depression in middle school and high school because nobody wanted to talk to me. And the few that did want to talk to me ended up hurting me. But honestly, after I graduated from college, I was just like, I don't care. I know I'm fine. I have my off days. It's whatever. Young girls, I need y'all to get a grip, because it's not okay. If you watch this video and you feel convicted or you feel like you should make some changes, do it because you want to. Don't be afraid to change and be different because, you know, your parents didn't say you have to. Sometimes you just got to do stuff for yourself. I just pray that you guys really, really know your worth. Learn more. Take time to learn about you, because you go through so many changes, and add in the extra heartbreaks and the social media nonsense. It's really going to break you down. It really does. It hurts me to see y'all on social media like that, like middle school girls, even the elementary girls, you know, y'all start off by talking slick at the mouth. And I understand that some of y'all are exposed to things, but if you would just get around some like-minded people who view things differently and you know, really find out who you are in Christ, you'll be all right. I feel like some of y'all feel like the way you look is more important than anything. Looks can't take you but so far. And let me let y'all in on a little secret. By the time you decide to get married and everybody done ran through you like a train track, and some people talk about, you know, how body count don't matter. It matters. It matters. Because I mean, it doesn't make sense for you to have had sex with 10 to 15 people before you even graduate high school, let alone college. I'm not judging y'all. If you know better, you do better. Or if you don't care, you do what you want to do. So I'm not judgmental at all. But I just come from a different time where things were extremely different. You know, I had my flaws and mistakes, but I have never taken it this far. And mainly because of my parents and because God kept me. Even if my parents didn't let me do a whole lot of stuff, I wasn't sheltered because I was around people who were doing all kinds of things. You know, I remember sitting in high school and classmates telling me about how they did this, how they did that. And I'm just like, can't relate. Don't want to relate, you know? So I just feel like, you know, there's a time and a place to be grown, and it's not in middle school. It's not in elementary school. It's not in middle school. It's not in high school. When you really get out there and become an adult in college life, by all means necessary, you're going to be grown, so you do how you see fit. After you get that high school diploma. I just really want y'all to be careful out there, because if you feel like you have to show off your body and wear makeup and flex on Instagram, truthfully, you're not really happy. Truthfully, you don't have a high self-esteem because you're doing things to get attention. If you're not putting yourself out there like that, the right person will notice you. And that's what y'all fail to realize. It's not, y'all get mad. We get mad at the guys. And sometimes they're a whole nother story. Sometimes we get mad at the guys, but he's a helpless puppy. If you put all that out there, you think he gonna treat you nice? No. And there are some guys who see some good girls and they think, you know, that, oh, she naive, she a good girl. And sometimes the good girls get got. If that's your case and you're not typically noticed, don't jump on the first guy that noticed you. You got to study him, because more than likely it's a guy that's trying to break you down because he sees that you have standards. He sees that you're not here for anything, here for the nonsense. He will try to break you down. So you got to be really, really smart. And you just got to know how you should be treated. A guy should not call you out of your name. A guy should not be smacking on your booty. Reasons why young females or females in general shouldn't get too wrapped up in what guys have to say is because they can't articulate at that age what they like about you. I was watching the show Promposal. Ridiculous show, by the way. And so the boyfriend is meeting the dad. And the dad asked, what do you like about my daughter? He was talking about, I don't know, she goofy. I'm just like, what? Like, what's it? So you like, what? That don't make no sense at all. That's all you have to say about a person you're supposedly in love with or want to be with. Nowadays, things are just so accessible. There's no reason for you to be on Instagram in your underwear and bra. What happened to saving imagination for the guy? If he know everything that's out there, I mean, there's no more mystery to it. And so when you surprised that he want to talk to you because he seen your picture, well, he done seen everything else. So he trying to jump to the picture. He ain't trying to date you. He ain't trying to take you out. I get frustrated over the girls fighting over guys in middle school and in high school. If a guy ain't stunting you and he want to mess around, leave his tail alone. Don't go fight the other girl. He made the decision to see the other girl, and you got to make the decision to walk away. It's not her fault. Now, granted, that wasn't the best thing to do, wasn't the smartest thing to do, you know, because she didn't have any self-respect, but you be the bigger person and walk away. Obviously, you didn't need him in the first place, because if he can't be faithful to you, chances are there's no reason to get at the other girl, and she's even more stupid for thinking that he gonna be faithful to her when he was cheating on you with her. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation. So there's no reason to fight over a guy and then like just move on. There are plenty of guys around. Don't even worry about it. And I'm not even gonna lie, guys cheat on girls that have standards. That's how it was for me in high school. I still got my period ring. Let that, you know, stand out to you. I won't here for that. Like, no. So most of them cheated on me because I wasn't willing to give it up. That was the thing in high school, giving it up. I won't here for that. No, I'm not doing that. And then 2 weeks later, you're gonna break up with me and do it with somebody else? You ain't nothing but a target on the list, because you think you're gonna give it up to him and you're gonna be the only one. Newsflash, you're not. He moving on to the next one right now. Like, y'all can't even really call yourself dating in middle school. He ain't got no car. You either walk to his house or he rode his bike to your house. What you gonna do? Netflix and chill is not a date. That's just an open opportunity for the enemy to use you, for you to do stuff married people do. So you really don't start dating until like late high school, early college, because dating is when you get to know somebody and they don't already know what your body look like. That they're not interested in that. They're interested in getting to know the things that you like, the things that hurt you, the things that they can do to add to your life, not to take away. That's what dating is about. People are just so quick to jump into relationships. Save yourself the heartache. It's really not that deep. Even if you are in a relationship and you know it's not that deep, cut them off. I'll go ahead and throw myself under the bus. I mean, I was dating someone and it just was not going right. So I had to separate myself from it. Granted, what happened today is a different story, but at the time I was like, I can't do this no more. And so y'all have to come to that realization, you know, and do what's best for you. And just because you don't have a boyfriend, it doesn't mean that you're not pretty, doesn't mean that you're not smart, doesn't mean that nobody likes you. You just don't have a boyfriend, because you are still you. And you can't allow someone to come in and take from you and not add to you. And a lot of people nowadays are taking and they're distorting it because they are lacking in a particular area. Don't be the person who's always getting taken advantage of because they don't know how to love. I just feel like at the end of the day, y'all are focused on the wrong things. Y'all are focused on looks and beauty and not on your education. It's just too much. Those should be the least of your worries in middle school and high school. And, you know, I really would like to reach out to each and every one of those girls that I see. But it's just like nowadays, if you say something to people and it could be the right thing, they take it so wrong. They take it wrong. And I'm just like, if only you knew how pretty you were and that you didn't have to do that to get attention, to know that the right people will notice you at the right time, to know that God notices you. And if your parents don't tell you that they love you or that you're beautiful, you just have to believe and figure it out for yourself that you are. And don't try to find it out in these streets, or find it in guys, or find it in drugs, or find it in the Victoria sale, or find it in lip gloss. You need to look in your Bible or talk to somebody who read the Bible, because you're going to set yourself up for failure. And like I said, my heart really goes out to those middle school girls who are putting themselves in a position to experience things that are not the best for them. And I just want to let y'all know that I'm only saying these things because I care. Because if I didn't care, I wouldn't have said anything. Because at the end of the day, whether you out there twerking on Instagram or not, I'm in my bed sleep. Ladies, you really need to know your worth and add tax, because folk are not out there to play games with you. If you make yourself available, you're going to be in a board game from hell, and you're really going to regret it. Another thing I want y'all to understand about the points that I'm making in this video is not because I'm against it. I just feel like there's a time and place for all that. Most of the stuff y'all trying to do is save it for married life, because really y'all are acting in a way, in a fashion of being grown, doing things that married people do. Your body, your purity, all that is for you and for the day and for your husband the day you get married. It's not for social media. It's not for Facebook. It's not for people to like you. You have to realize that your valuables is all that you have. Once you don't have it, you kind of go left, because you've given up a special part of you. I hate the fact that social media in a sense has allowed certain stuff to be posted and shared, because that's for you. Like, if you want to twerk in your bedroom, by all means necessary, go ahead. Ain't nobody got to see that though. If that's what makes you feel confident, do it in the comforts of your own home. Do not take that out. Do not put it on social media, because that's not what social media is for. And not to mention, there are predators all over social media. And then dads, we need you. Obviously, it's a proven point that the things that guys tell us is what gets us going. So dads, we need you in our life to speak into us, to speak over us, because if you're not there, we're susceptible to listening to any and everything any guy has to say. And it could be the stupidest thing ever. It could be like 2 + 2 is 5. And we believe it because it's a man's voice. You know, we are driven to those things because that's just how females are. That's how we're made, you know. And as my bishop has been teaching us, guys, you set a lot of things in order. So dads, we need you. We need you to protect and cover your daughters, and we need you to raise your sons to be decent men who know how to treat a woman. I'm not even going to blame some of the parents. Sometimes it's what's out there in the world, you know. Y'all don't have the greatest examples. Y'all have Empire and Love and Hip Hop. Y'all didn't have like a lot of the good wholesome TV shows like Sister Sister, The Proud Family that taught those lessons and values. Even some of us, we dropped the ball on showing y'all how to act like a lady, what to accept from a guy and whatnot. We failed you in some ways because y'all watching us. And you know, I apologize for anything that anyone has seen that has made them feel like it's okay for them to do it. It was just a downward spiral because there were people ahead of me who weren't the best examples. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to you, what you're willing to accept, how you're willing to be treated, and you deserve the best. You are royalty. You come from a DNA of royalty, and you are nothing less. If y'all don't take nothing else from this video, I just want you to know and learn your self-value. I want y'all to stop putting all your bedroom business on social media. Your body is a temple. It's sacred. It should not be on social media. I get it if you went to a beach trip. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm talking about from ages 10 to 20. If you have a social media, it's not meant for you to show your body. It's not meant for you to be up there cursing, trying to fight people. It's no. You should have way more class than that, because at the end of the day, it's not honorable. That's just the world we live in, and I'm honestly and truly afraid to even have kids of my own in the future, because I don't know if I can handle half the stuff that I'm seeing. Like, I'm not, and of course it has nothing to do with sheltering your children, but children are just exposed to so much, and it's really heartbreaking to see how this kind of generation has developed. But if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them in the comment box. Thank you for tuning into this video, and I pray that you really learn who you are and learn that you don't need a guy to validate you. You don't need weave to validate you. Don't need a full set to validate you. You just need to be you and be comfortable in your skin. Because if you learn that from the time you're 11 to the time you're 20, can't nothing stop you. Not one thing in the world. The enemy is going to try. There's going to be opportunities and things are going to happen, and you know, it's life. Life is going to come at you point blank, period. But if you start developing those habits now and knowing what you're willing to tolerate and how you should be treated, you're going to go a very long way. I just want y'all to know that it's okay to be a kid. You don't have to be grown in middle school. You don't have to have it all figured out in middle school. You don't have to be grown in high school. You don't have to have it all figured out in high school. You just have to do the very best you can and focus on the things that matter, like your family, just making the most of school. Like, school used to be enjoyable. It wasn't always a competition of who did this and who did that, or who looks like this, or who. We just went to enjoy ourselves. And I hate the fact that, you know, social media and a slew of other things has convinced us that it's not enough to just be a kid and enjoy life. So anyway, I just really came up here to really pour into you guys, to let you know that I care about y'all and I'm praying about y'all. And I just pray that this touches a parent's heart to really know what your child is being exposed to out there, the things that they're putting out there. And I know it's hard for y'all parents sometimes to like reach out to your child because you're afraid that it's going to get even worse and they're going to get even more rebellious. All you can do is pray and ask God to touch their hearts. I would love to hear y'all's feedback, you know. And like I said, I'm not bashing this generation. I just don't like what I'm seeing. It's very different from me, what I'm seeing, and it's hard to look at. It's hard to watch. That's all I got to say on this particular topic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you agree with me, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if there's anything that I missed, please feel free to let me know. Any way I can do what I can to help y'all, I'm all here for it. There's not too many examples out there for y'all to follow. I'm gonna do the best with what I have to, you know, show you guys and speak into you guys' life, and really let y'all know what's up, because yeah, I can't deal. It's too much for me.